what's up everybody? This is KC from 444 Woodworks. Today I'm going to do the first in a series on using acrylic painting mediums with your wood turning. So for those of you that don't know, before I was a wood turner and even a woodworker period, I was a fine art painter, and I'll use that term loosely. But I did a lot of acrylic painting, oil painting. I still do, not as much as I used to, because turning has really truly become my creative passion and my outlet. But I am slowly moving into incorporating my fine art background into my turning work. So I decided that I'm going to do a series on using different mediums, and just starting from really step one. I'm gonna use one medium today, and we're gonna go through some of the plus and minus of that, and then I'm gonna probably continue on in this series from time to time, working with different mediums, just kind of showing everybody what they do, talk a little bit about again, their plus, their minus, where you can get them, things like that. I know a lot of the turners that I have met, not a lot of them have a fine art background. There has been a few of them, but most of them just kind of come from the woodworking world. So I figured I'd go through some of that and kind of bring that into the perspective for those that don't already have it. So today what we're going to talk about is a modeling paste. Okay, so this brand in particular is Master's Touch. This is the Hobby Lobby brand, and it's a paste. It's kind of thick. Let me show you what it's like here. You can turn it upside down. It's not going to go anywhere. You see, it's kind of like a thin putty. A little thicker than a caulk, I'd say. But you can grab a chunk of it. It's not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay there. So you could do really cool things with this. You can either add acrylic color to this, or take it, put it on your form, let it dry, and then add some color over it, which is what we're going to do. Okay, so let me get set up here, and then we'll start adding some paste to this bowl, and I'll show you how I do it. All right, I got this oak bowl. I actually just turned it. It's a pretty green bowl, so it's going to move a little bit. I did sand the inside a bit, sanded the outside just a little bit, but not a ton, because we're going to put some medium on there, obviously. So you can really take this and do whatever you want with it. There's really no right or wrong. You can go left to right. I'll start with showing some of that. And I'm just using a palette knife, and you can just do like this. Add some cool texture on there. You don't have to cover it all the way. You can scrape some of it. You can also go up and down if you wish. If I feel that I have a little too much in one spot, what I'll do is I'm gonna scrape it away. See, like I got a pretty big glob there. You can kind of see that on there, so right there. So I'm just gonna take this, scrape this away a little bit, and add a little more. And the way I'm using this palette knife is I'm not all the way flat with it, okay? I'm more on a 3/4 like this, okay? Kind of like a 45, I guess you'd say. And use your judgment. This is kind of a personal touch, whatever you like. You can use a heavier coat, you can use a lighter coat, whatever you want. I could take a glob, wipe it on there, come back and just scrape some of that off. And if you notice, I continue to go in the same direction. So what that's doing is it's creating a little bit of a layering effect, and I kind of like that. Okay, that's cool. And honestly, this tub is probably, I don't know, $7, $8, and it'll last a very long time. So I'm just gonna take it and kind of look at it, see if I like what I've done, see if there's any areas where I'd like to add a little more, see if there's any areas where I feel that I added too much, any of that. What you can see here is I do have some around the top, and I don't really want that. So you could either use your finger, or you could use the paper towel that I actually brought out here to do this with, that I'm using to wipe my finger on. And then if there's a little white streak here, if you wanted to take a little water, it's acrylic base, so you could always take a little bit of water, wipe it off. Honestly, afterwards I'll probably just sand a little bit of that off, and we'll be all good to go. And I'm gonna look at the bottom here too. And if I got anything on the bottom that I don't want, Same thing, I'm just gonna wipe this away toward the outside of the bowl, because you don't want it coming back on the inside of that bottom, because it will dry with some texture, obviously, so it'll be thick. So if you have pockets of it on the bottom, it will cause the bowl to wobble a little bit. All right, so we're gonna leave this to dry. We'll leave it to dry overnight, and I'll come back tomorrow and we'll talk about our next steps with this. See you then. All right, so the bowl's been drying honestly for about a week. I was gonna do it the next day, but then I got tied up with some other turning projects from a club that I belong to. So I let it sit for a little bit, and you can see that it was green wood. It's dried, looks kind of like an avocado now. It's probably kind of hard to tell from the view, but right where the pith was, right below it, this is warped considerably. So you can kind of get a good view of it in there. But I kind of enjoy that. It's one of the things I enjoy about green turning. No cracks or anything on the inside here. I don't see anything else on the outside, so we're pretty good. Everything's nice and dry. You can see some of the wood kind of showed through the medium that we're using. That's no problem. So we're gonna add some color to this now and kind of see what the next step is. You could really use whatever kind of paint you want. I believe I mentioned earlier, I am a fine art painter, so I use a little bit better quality acrylics, oils, things like that when I do paint. So I do have Liquitex. It's more of a professional grade paint, but you truly can use a really inexpensive paint, because we're just going to basically glaze right over our medium. We don't want to completely cover it. We can, but that's not totally my goal here. So I am going to go first in the direction that we added the medium in. Okay, and then I'll go back and forth a little bit. I wanted to go in the direction first so you can see if you do that, it's going to leave some stuff pulled up for you there, which is fine. I'm just going to go back and forth a little bit on this. And again, you don't have to cover all of it. You can, but you don't have to. I am going to for this demo. And you can see truly how far this goes. I'm still on my first brush full, and I don't really need to reload the brush at all if I don't want to. All right, I'm just gonna go through here, make sure we got all the areas covered that I wanted to cover. Okay, we're gonna let that sit and dry for a little bit, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna throw on a little bit of another color. See you in a minute. Before we throw on our second color, I'm actually gonna paint the bottom of this. I'm gonna add some color here. Again, you don't have to, but it's something I decided I wanted to do. And you can see what this looks like if you just added it to the raw wood, which you could also do, but that's not really what this video is about per se. All right, now we've already added color on here with the paint thinned out, right? I wanted to show you that, and I wanted to show you another way. I'm going to show you the way that I usually do it, but I wanted to show you that you could get it much thinner if you wanted. We have some of the modeling paste here, same modeling paste that we used, and I have some of the paint. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this together, and this will create a much more opaque version of this color. And I'm going to take this and I'm just going to add some back into here. I'm going to go same direction we went initially, and you can add it to some parts, you could add it to all the parts, you can do whatever you want. I'm just going to kind of pick and choose some. This will give it a really cool effect. This is really going to bring it out. Kind of boring before. If you like it like that, you could definitely leave it, but I prefer to add a little bit more to it. We'll let this dry for a day or so, and then we'll come back and we'll see what it looks like. See you then. All right, here's the final bowl. You can see everything dried up real nice, and you can really see the difference in tones there. You can see the lighter pink that we used with the brush, and then the darker, the more red tones that we used when we went back in with the palette knife. Also with some white mixed in, because we left some of the medium in there, didn't completely mix it in with the red the second time around. And like I said, we did get some bleed over here, so what I'll probably do is I'll probably go through sand this. It has continued to dry, so it's definitely wavy, it's pretty cool. And then I'll add some finish to it. I'll probably add a little bit of a different finish on the outside. And if you remember, we painted this red down here, and you could see how much actually soaked into the wood. We had it pretty thinned out, so it just basically did a little wash over it. So it didn't overpower it, but I like that it gives it a much different effect than on the inside of the bowl. So really do enjoy this. So I hope you like this project. Like I said, this is the first video of a few that I'll do. I'll do some stuff with different mediums. I actually do a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I don't record. So I'll do more for you guys, and hope you enjoyed it. I definitely appreciate you guys checking out this video and all my videos. If you want to see more of my work and see actually what's available, if you'd like to pick up a piece for yourself or for a gift for someone, check out my website, 444woodworks.com. And until next time, keep those shavings flying. See you guys later.